Selena, so you technically asked Benny out on the first official date.
She did. She did like every.
Walk us through that confidence, that energy, because
there
I think a lot
wasn't
of
any
ladies
confidence. That's the scary part. I think that's when I recognized that I had some sort of feelings for him. What I felt for Benny, it was everything about him was honest. When Benny looks at me, I don't think he sees anything but who I am. Oh, that's so cheesy to say, but when you do know, it feels right. Walking to his house or into his home to go to his friend's thing, I was very nervous. And I'm not normally like that unless it's like an event or something where it could be overwhelming. But with anyone I talk to, I'm able to talk to people and I feel like I'm good at it. But I just felt like all these feelings. And then when we went out, I was laughing and I didn't feel like he wanted anything or there was weird motives. It's sad that, people have to think that way, but I don't know. I felt this immediate safety and I was very pleased that, I don't know, we were friends and then I became,
The next time we hung out, we just hung out at home and we just we're chilling and we were playing that game.
We're Not
Really Strangers.
Oh, yeah. It's a great game.
And my friend made that game.
Oh, wow.
And we were just playing it and we had both played it. And I was like, okay, sure, we can play it. And we played it. And there was a card that said take a selfie together. And we took a selfie. She screwed up. We took a selfie, and then right after the selfie, we just kissed. And then
great.
No, that's it. And then she's very private. And then basically the rest was history. And we started hanging out so much, and it just very quickly, I was like, oh my God, my whole life, I was like, oh, this is my person. I'm gonna marry this person. This is the thing. This is what it feels like. It was so different than any of those feelings. And I was like, holy shit, I met my best friend. This is my best friend. Nothing gets any better than this. It can't get better. There's no, this is better than any friend I have that's a guy and I get to kiss them. It was insane to me. So I was like, I can't let this go. And it was so funny because before I met her, with my therapist, I had made a list saying these are all the things I want. I'm tired.
Tell me the list.
You want to know it?
Yeah, I want to know the list.
Okay. So before I met her, I was a guy in LA trying to find the one for me, and I was having some trouble, and I think I was maybe not looking in all the right places, and I was like, okay, it's time to be a grown up. I want to start a life. I want to have a family. I want to find a person that is my other half that makes me feel better and I make them feel better. And it's a give and take. It's the perfect yin and yang. So I wrote down a list, and the first thing on my list was age appropriate. Okay. So that was,
I love that. That's
great.
And it was 30 plus. Okay.
Got it.
So that was number one on my list.
Yes.
Not number one, but it was the first thing I wrote.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I wrote was, I said, I know these are so simple, but it's so hard to come by. Somebody who's kind, compassionate, and caring. I was like, that's really 3 in 1. But that was but I was like, I need someone who's nice and is a genuine nice person.
You said something really important. The reason I'm bringing it up is because I feel a lot of women, but a lot of people feel this way. And you said when you first were meeting and recording together, there was a sense of you were protecting yourself.
Yes.
And I think that's a very human thing. And I think it's a very normal thing, and especially in this day and age, especially in your position to add to it. What was it that, at one point you said, I'm going to adopt at 35 if I don't find someone? You had your whole life mapped out when you met Benny. But then, and you said you were protecting yourself, but then you started to open up. Could you walk us through what gave you confidence to open up, but what that feels like when you're trying to protect yourself? Because I think that's the push and pull that everyone's going through.
Well, I think first of all, making plans and trying to stick to them is silly because you don't know what's going to happen. And I can't believe that I get to marry my best friend. So, but yes, I think for me, I was genuinely set. But it was once I let go of me just saying, I want someone and I wish I had this and I wish I had that. Instead, I changed my mind to, I'm so lucky that I get to wake up and my family's healthy and I love spending time with my friends. And you know what? If it doesn't happen, I know that I've always wanted to be a mom. And, so of course I kind of planned that out. I think it was because when Benny looks at me, I don't think he sees anything but who I am. And that's very rare to find. He knows when I'm feeling a certain way and kind of before I can even let it get to a place where it's unbearable, he has already talked to me through a spiral and protecting myself on multiple reasons, doing music, working with someone that's kind of, like, oh, I don't know if I should do that. But I genuinely just it just happened. I think when and oh, that's so cheesy to say, but when you do know, it feels right. And I think that's what happened to me. And I just felt very comfortable with